Welcome back everyone to Farm and Sugar. My name is Allie and it is a cool crisp morning on the farm, and you know what that means? It's time to start fall decorating, fall baking, all the things fall. So we're just gonna slightly decorate a little bit for fall, a couple little baking. I think we're gonna do maybe some donuts and some cinnamon rolls because I have been thinking about cinnamon rolls like all week. I keep seeing them everywhere, so I'm just gonna make my own. I also need to throw the bread in the oven and get a workout in. We've already fed the chickens, washed our face. Now it's just time to eat a little bit of breakfast. And my name is Allie, so if you are new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That way you don't miss out on any of our weekly videos on the farm here. And let's go ahead and get breakfast started. This morning I am just going to have an Applegate chicken and maple sausage. These are really good. An egg, English McMuffin, and a slice of Velveeta cheese. So we're just gonna have a little sausage egg McMuffin sandwich with our Lonnie new, of course, cherry twist. If you hear crunching in the background, it is Juno chewing on her antler because she's just full of energy this morning. So let's go ahead and measure everything out, get it logged into our app, and we'll see how much it's going to cost today. Let's see. So that egg was 39 grams. Alright, so all of this, including the energy drink, we're at 236 calories, 22 grams of protein, 29 carbs, 10 fat, and 12 fiber. I'd say that's pretty good for a breakfast sandwich. And remember, clean as you go. I do have to unload the dishwasher before I start baking because gotta start with a clean dishwasher. And here's our sandwich. So easy, so good, literally less than 5 minutes to do everything. And that app, being able to scan everything, makes it so simple. This, really good. Go ahead and unload this dishwasher, and then we are gonna prep our dough for the donuts and cinnamon rolls. because the dough does have to rise a little bit, like an hour, hour and a half. So while that's doing that, we could work on some other stuff. So let's go ahead and get this done. All right, dishwasher is empty. Now let's start on this dough for the donuts. All right, let's get started on prepping the dough for the donuts. But first we gotta let the yeast activate in the water. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put 2 1/4 teaspoons of active dry yeast. And then 1/2 cup of warm water, and you want the water to be about 110 degrees. It's really gonna activate that yeast. Mix that right in. And then a pinch of sugar. That's just really gonna help that yeast set up. All right, this is gonna sit for about 5 minutes. While that's going for 5 minutes, we are going to get everything started for the dough. I'm gonna go ahead and lock that moisture in there. All right, let's get started on the dough. So I have 1/2 cup of warm milk, so that's gonna go right in our bowl. And I'm gonna go ahead and using my KitchenAid mixer bowl. It's just easier. And then guess what? Straight to the dishwasher. 1/4 cup of sugar right in there. 1/4 cup of melted butter. One teaspoon of salt. 1 teaspoon of vanilla. All right, now we're gonna add in 2 eggs, farm fresh, courtesy of our girls out back. So let's go ahead and mix up these wet ingredients, and then we'll add in our yeast and water. That's pretty frothy right now. Let's go ahead. Oh, would help if I turned it on. Just gonna slightly mix that together. Let's add in our yeast. All right, so now we're gonna add 3 1/2 cups of flour, and we're gonna do it one at a time. half a cup. Okay, so now we're gonna lightly flour our surface. That way we can roll the dough out and kind of shape it how we want. We're gonna knead it first before we shape it. Still a little bit sticky, so I'm gonna add a little bit more flour to the KitchenAid and then I'll be right back. All right, so just have a floured surface here and I'm gonna knead this for a couple of minutes and then we are gonna get it into a grease bowl, cover it up and let it sit till it doubles in size and then we will roll it out and shape it. And then we are actually going to prep our sourdough loaf to get it resting in the fridge so I can bake that off later as well. Dough all over my fingers. All right, let me wash my hands. We're gonna grease our bowl. That right down in there. I'm gonna cover it up. And it's a little cold in my house, and I really want this to rise not fairly quickly, but not take all day. So I'm gonna put it in my oven with the oven light on. And it's been on for a while because my sourdough is actually been proofing in there. So I'm gonna take that out and replace this one in here. It's 8:55, so I'm gonna say about 9 o'clock. So about 9:30ish, we're gonna check that and see how it looks. So for now, let's go ahead and scrape some of this dough out. I have a love-hate relationship with this butcher block. I got stuff all over me. All right, now next, clean this bowl up because I'll need it again. And then we're going to also shape and get our sourdough into the Banneton and into the fridge so it can cool for a little bit. All right, so let's get some more flour down. And let's get our sourdough out. So you kind of want to let gravity do its job, but sometimes you got to help it get started a little bit. But you don't want to tear it. I'll go ahead and get the rest of this out of here. Didn't leave this to proof too long, but it didn't start rising quick enough. So I let it set in the oven with the oven light on all night, and then it finally rose. That helped. This morning, it was like last night I didn't. I left it on the counter, but I probably should have put it in there in the oven light instead of this morning. So that's okay. It's fine. Everything's fine. So let's go ahead and shape our dough. I think I'm gonna do a plain loaf on this one. I was gonna do an inclusion, but I really just want some plain sourdough for breads and whatnot. So let's go ahead and get this one shaped. And then this will set on the counter for about 2 hours before we move it to the fridge. I got so many bubbles coming up. And then we're kind of just making a C here. You really want your counter to be a nice floured surface. And you want to push it away from you, pull it back. Push it away, pull it back. Just like that. Just a couple of times here. Right. We're gonna flour our Banneton really good. Nice and seasoned. We'll just take this, then we'll put this side down and we'll pinch this together here. It smells so good. Sourdough smells so freaking good. All right, I'm gonna wash my hands off and then we're gonna cover this and then we'll leave this set aside and then we'll get started on our dough for our cinnamon rolls. Oh, I can't wait. I really don't know if I wanna just do a plain cinnamon roll or if I wanna do blueberry. I really wanna try blueberry because I have some I need to use, but nothing beats a classic cinnamon roll. What do you guys think? So I use shower caps to kind of cover this because it helps hold like all the moisture in. I don't know if I bought the wrong sizes, but they always rip. So it usually takes me 3 or 4 to get done. So let's start and see how many it takes me to get on this one. It already had ripped, but I'm gonna see if I can potentially still use it. Oh yeah, maybe. Are we gonna be one and done today? Oof. Oh, we are one and done today. All right, so this will be done around 11 o'clock, which is great because that'll be a little bit after 10:30 when our donuts are risen, so we can start working on that. And then we'll throw this in the fridge and then everything will just be like bam, bam, bam. All right, let's clean up. And I need to take my dog out because she's whining and she wants to go potty or sniff. So I'll be right back. Get started on our cinnamon rolls. Still have not decided if I want blueberries or regular cinnamon rolls. For some reason, I think I'm just gonna do normal today. And maybe use the blueberries for a filling in the donuts. That's what I'm leaning towards. Anyways, let's do a 1 1/3 cup of warm milk right into our bowl. Dishwasher. We're gonna go, now let's put in our 4 teaspoons of active dry yeast. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need to get some more. And this one, we're actually gonna whisk it up. Since we put so much in there, we don't want it to clump up or not start dissolving and getting all foamy. Mix that up. All right, I'm gonna let that rest for a few minutes. And then we'll start adding in our other ingredients to that. All right, let's go ahead and check this. Yep, nice and frothy. Let's go ahead and add our other ingredients in and then we'll get it on the KitchenAid. So I'm gonna go ahead and get 2 room temperature eggs in. Dishwasher. just leave that open. Half a cup of sugar. 1/4 cup of room temperature butter. There we go. 2 teaspoons of salt. And 5 cups of flour. Good thing I went to Sam's and got it in bulk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, let's get this on the KitchenAid and mix. If you're doing it by hand, it will be really sticky, and that's what you're looking for. This is not gonna be a very soft, like smooth dough. It will actually be pretty sticky for a while. So let's go ahead and get this on the KitchenAid, and it's gonna take probably about 10-ish minutes in the KitchenAid just to get it all combined correctly. So let's switch over to there. So our dough is all formed. It was in the KitchenAid, and when it starts to pull off the side, then that's when it's good to go. So we're actually not even gonna do anything with it. We're gonna transfer it straight into a grease bowl. I'm gonna have to pick it up. Probably should have used a bigger bowl, but that's okay. We have a bite down there. All right. We're just gonna cover it. If you have cling wrap, that would work best for the cinnamon rolls, but apparently I'm all out. Add that to the list. So we're just gonna put this in the oven with the oven light on, not the actual oven on, for hour and a half. So this one will be done about 12:30. Right, our donuts are doing good in there. Get this in the dishwasher, and then I think it's time to decorate for fall. Just a little bit, just a smidge. All right, let's get down some of our American flag decor that we had out. Starting to get a little tore up, so I probably need to invest in some new ones next year. Definitely do that. So let's go ahead and take this down so we can put the fall right up. So Hobby Lobby had the cutest cup. I almost got the leaf one, but I really just like the pumpkin. Maybe I'll go back and get the leaf one, or maybe I'll just wait until Christmas and get like one each, because I don't really need that many, but I had to have the pumpkin one. So I'm gonna get this. I don't know, is this dishwasher safe? Well, I'm gonna put it in the dishwasher, and that way it gets nice and sanitized. And then these flowers from Hobby Lobby. So I'm gonna put them on our mantle, I think, and by the TV. And I got a few different ones. So I don't know if I want one that's all like this, like these. They kind of go down in, don't they? I can fix that. Or do I want to mix it? I don't know. I want to play around with it, try to get all these little stickers off. I really wish they would have a different system for the stickers, but is what it is. I probably need to do another Hobby Lobby trip coming up. Maybe. I can always find something that I need at Hobby Lobby. Maybe whether it's for like baking or like a dish or decorations. Anything along those lines. Do I want to put these on a mantle, or do I want to put this in the middle here? I've got to get my decorations down, so I'll probably move things around afterwards once I get all the decorations down. But I gotta wait till my husband gets home for that, because there's a fridge in the way of the attic door. And now I can't get to my decorations, so this one doesn't look. Oh. So now I have to wait for him to do that. This blue, I like, look at this. So freaking cute. I love these colors too. They're absolutely gorgeous. And this blue is just so pretty. So pretty. Right. What do I do? What do I do? I almost just want to do one. I have some more flowers in the attic, so maybe I'll just do one. These look kind of cute in there, but they kind of, I don't know. I don't know about that one. It's simple. Let me play around with this one first. So, do I put something in the jar? All this stuff comes to mind after I leave Hobby Lobby. Like, girl, you couldn't have thought of that while you were there. Let's put this right in the middle. Oh, I need more flowers. Okay, well, I'm definitely gonna need more flowers, for sure. But look at this. Isn't that pretty? Like, I don't know if I'd look better with the amber color one, because I have another one over there, or if I like the green. I kind of like in the green, and then I'll put it on like something in the middle of our picture block island here. So, waiting on my husband. But it is time to roll out our donuts and shape those, so let's get started on that. We'll clean up the counter first since we have to roll across it, but let's go ahead and start that. So let's go ahead and get some flour down, because we are going to roll our donuts out, our dough. Do a little bit more. Oops. Since we're rolling it, I'm going to have dough everywhere. This one out. Go ahead and get this out. Perfect. Dishwasher. So we're going to roll this out to a 1/2 inch thickness. So Just gonna take a little bit of that, put it on there. So this is a Daisy Makes rolling pin, and I love this, and I bought the little additional attachment so it measures it so you do not have to worry about that. It's a game changer, you guys. Like, rolls to perfection. I do want to find a wooden one though. So if you have any recommendations on a wooden rolling pin, let me know. I'd really like to find an old one though. That's what I want. Right. Let's see if I have a cookie cutter. Not the size that I'm wanting. All right, so we'll just use a cup. All right, so let's just go ahead and start cutting down. Roll that back out. Now, we are going to cut the holes in these. But I have a tool. A Daisy Makes tool. That's right. We're going to use the small cake pop popper, smallest size, to make our donut holes. It works so good. Talk about a multi-purpose tool. That's perfect. I gotta record that. That works. It makes them so perfect. Like, oh, love it. All right, I'm gonna get the rest of these cut. We're gonna cover them up and we're gonna let them rest for 30 minutes to do another rise, and then we'll fry them and then dip them in chocolate and stuff some of them in, stuff them with blueberry filling and powder coat them. So, I'll see you in a minute. All right, so we got our oil heating to 350 degrees. And I just used a normal vegetable oil today. I've switched over to like oil, olive and avocado, but I still needed to get rid of some of that. So I feel like this was just perfect for that. I already got my blueberry filling for the powdered donuts done. And that's just some blueberries and some sugar on heat, and then just mash them up to the consistency that you like. I did mine a little bit more chunkier. That way I could really get that jam type of texture. And then we're just gonna drop our donuts in for about a minute or two on each side, but let's go ahead and check the temperature of our oil because we want it to be at 350 before we get started. And I already have my wire rack on top of my baking pan with a paper towel over top. To start, we want the paper towel to be over it to kind of catch some of the grease and oils off of it. And that is ready. And then once they start to cool, we'll dip them and coat them, and then we will remove that paper towel. All right, so let's go ahead and start, and we'll get these in. Only do about 3 at a time. That way it's not overcrowding the pan or anything. So I'll probably take mine down a little bit on the time, mostly because I got a little bit too golden, which is okay. It's not going to affect the donut in any way. Nice and golden. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get the rest done, and I'll see you guys when it's time to coat them. Just melting the chocolate here for some of them. And then the other ones are gonna be powdered sugar and jelly filled. I've already had a couple donut bites. So good, so easy, so simple, and we did it all before lunchtime. Like, come on now, why are we going to the store? Like, we can do this at home. I literally had all the ingredients. I didn't have to go and get anything special. Literally stuff I have at home. It's so great. And it tastes better. There's no additives, like. So good. So, go ahead. Poke a little hole in these full ones. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Perfect. Let me grab some sprinkles. Let's get to dipping. Oh, so excited. And then a little bit of sprinkle. Not a lot. I like sprinkles, but not a ton. And I don't want to overpower it, but so good. Like this could be a little bit more melted. It's fine. They're so soft and pillowy. So good. My husband loves chocolate, so that's why we went with a chocolate topping. My son does too, but he's not really big into sweets. He really likes fruit, which we keep fruit bowls around for that reason. But these are like our sweet treat for the weekend. So every time my husband is on the road during the week, he always comes home to some kind of sweet treat. Just makes the weekend more fun. And shows how much I appreciate my husband and working like he does. Let me put this back in for a few more seconds. I really want it to melt. And these are still warm, but they're not hot. So that's what you want to remember. Ooh, I'm making a mess. Make just go a little bit faster here. Now I'm making a little bit of a mess. It's okay. I'm just taking the back of the spoon because some spots have gotten chunky with the chocolate. And I'm just making little swirls. Kind of coat the top. It's probably a little bit better because some of those have quite a bit of chocolate, but I'm not complaining. So good. Do you guys bake at home? I do, all the time, as you can tell. Try this. Let's see what this does. Love to bake. My boys enjoy it. Definitely. I don't think they'll ever complain about me baking. These are looking so good. Oh, just did my hand in it. Like, look. So good. Is that the thumbnail? Just... I'm kidding. Right, let's keep moving. 2 more of these. All right, now let's... Do I powder it and then jelly it? Or jelly it, then powder it? Don't. Let's just go full jelly. Oh, it's all coming out. So I'm just using a piping bag. I've never done this before, guys. So, I'm gonna take a butter knife, kind of put it down in there, just like that. Yes. So maybe you do powder it first, because it's really hard to do when it's jellied. We can dust someone. That's no problem. So, let's go ahead, open the center up. Get it all nice and powdery. It's not really wanting to stick. This is the messy part, I guess. How much powder do these stores and donut places use when they do this? Ooh. And right down in. Beautiful. I don't know if I made enough jelly. That's okay. Maybe we'll make this one chocolate filled. Open it up in there. I'm gonna have stuff everywhere. All right, I'll see you guys when they're all done. All right, let's get working on our filling for our dough for our cinnamon rolls. So we have 1 stick of butter softened, and then we're gonna add a cup of brown sugar packed. Some cinnamon, add as much or as little as you like. What's that saying? Measure with your heart? Yeah, do that. And then pinch of salt. All right, I'm gonna mix these up, and then I'm going to get our dough spread, and then we're gonna cut these up. All right, let's get everything mixed together here. Make sure that butter is really incorporated with that brown sugar and cinnamon, because you don't want any chunks of butter. I mean, you might, but... And if it's too hard, or if you think it's too clumpy, you can put it in the microwave for a few seconds and kind of soften it and melt it a little bit that way. I'm gonna let mine set while I get our dough ready, and then I'll do that. All right, put that to the side a minute. Let's get some flour down on our surface. A little bit more. We have used so much flour today. I guess that's a good thing. It means we're baking. All right, so we're gonna punch this down, take all that air out. It's so satisfying. And it's so warm. We should probably get beautiful. All right, so let's get this rolled out. Let's get our rolling pin. I may have to grab the other one because I don't want these a 1/2 inch thick. You know? We are going to turn this way. And yeah, I'm gonna grab my other rolling pin. All right, now I'm gonna get this one nice and rolled out. Making sure it's kind of in a rectangle. I know it's kind of hard sometimes to do, but you really want it to be nice and even. Beautiful. I want to spill any dough. All right, so this is what we're working with. I'm gonna go ahead, melt this up a little bit. Got my pizza roller out. All right, so I did 10 seconds, and that, yeah, that's how we want it right there. Just like that. All right, so let's get this spread. We need to make more if we rolled our dough out a little too much. That's okay. We can do that. You don't want it too thick. You really want it almost like your pizza sauce. So spread as much as you can out first. There's a brown sugar chunk. I don't want that in there. These smell so good. I can't wait. All right, once you got it to where everything is nice and covered, there you go. I'm going going to do a light layer of cinnamon again. Remember, you can add as much or as little as you want. And now you can get technical and kind of measure it out. You don't have to. I'm not going to. You can make these thick, you can make these thin, but you're just going to use a pizza roller and just do a straight line as you can, just like that. I'm gonna do a pizza night for dinner tonight as well. I don't know, we'll see. My husband's on his way home. Oh, I can't wait. He's gonna have all the snacks this weekend. All right, so I'm gonna leave the side pieces out for the moment, and then I'm gonna do these first. And I already have my pan here, lined with parchment paper, easy cleanup. And then we're just gonna roll these just like that. Look how beautiful. And then right in here, right in the parchment paper. And you want these kind of stuck together. I actually am not liking the parchment paper right now. Okay. You can also roll this up and do like the little unflavored floss to cut them. But I just like doing it this way. I don't want to get out floss and make all those little cuts constantly. This is just a little simpler, a little more hands-on, which is what I like. So once these are rolled up, we're gonna let them set for another 30 minutes before we bake them. So all right, that's what they're looking like. Oh, they look so good. I'm so excited. All right, I'm going to cover these up and let them rise again for another 30 to 40 minutes. And then we're going to top them and then bake them off. I'll see you then. All right, so we have our oven preheating to 350 and it has been 30 minutes. They are puffed up and ready to go. Look at that. Don't those look so good? They smell so good. Ugh. Okay. So now, if I don't rip my hair out, we're gonna take our heavy cream. Come on, there we go. And we're gonna drizzle some over top. Don't worry, they will be soaked up. So you won't just have milk everywhere, but all right. And now that our oven is preheated, we're gonna go ahead and get these in for 20 minutes. And then we're going to prep our sourdough. So once these are done, we can put our sourdough right in on our bread, and then we can do our workout. And yeah, we still need to decorate. I need to go down and check for fresh eggs. I have to wait until my husband gets the stuff out of the attic. So maybe it'll be tomorrow before I get to decorate some of my fall stuff. which is fine. So I also need to put these donuts in something because my dog already just stole a donut hole. And I can't even be mad at her because she had surgery 2 days ago for being spayed. So, table surfer. Belgian Malinois. That's why. Yeah, you. So, let's get these in the oven and get these cleaned up, and then we'll get our sourdough out so we can score it, and I'll be right back. Okay, so those are almost done in the oven. And I just have our topping mixed up. It's kind of chunky, but I don't want to dirty my mixer, so I'm just smashing it around. So what this is 1 block of cream cheese, 1 stick of unsalted butter, some heavy cream, about 1/4 of a cup, and then some powdered sugar, about 1 cup of powdered sugar. So just mix this up. It's just like a cream cheese topping. And you just want to make sure all of the big chunks are out. It's going to melt a little bit, but you don't want to bite into like a big chunk of butter. So that's why that you can mix it to make it smooth. I just don't feel like doing that. So I'm just going to smash mine up. And then before we put this on, we're going to let our cinnamon rolls cool down for about 10 minutes. Because you don't want to put it on too hot, because then it'll just melt off and just won't be nice ooey and gooey on top of your cinnamon rolls. So let's go ahead, check those. We'll pull those out. They rose significantly to the point they're almost hitting my top rack in the oven. So it's going to be very interesting getting these out. So let's grab them. I'm actually gonna give them another minute or two. When I pulled them out, they're a little bit brown, like golden, but not completely, and I want the center to be cooked, so I'm gonna give them another minute or two. So I'm just gonna keep working this around. And then we will get our sourdough in, and then we'll work out. I think today I'm going to do like some triceps for sure. I slack on triceps and I really need to do those more. Definitely. So maybe I'll do some shoulders, chest, and triceps. Chest, maybe some shoulders. I don't do a lot of chest workout. I do mostly shoulder. And if you do correct exercises, you can hit both when you're doing shoulders, so you don't have to worry about that. Yeah, definitely need to do triceps. I'm way behind on steps. Don't know when I'm gonna get those in, so I'll probably have to walk tonight. Usually I already have my steps in by now, but I overslept. We almost missed the bus. And Juno cannot walk right now for our walks, and she also can't be left alone. And then I've been baking, so I'm probably just gonna have to get out my walking pad. That way I at least hit my minimum of 10,000 steps. I'm at like 4,800 now, so I only need like 2.5, 3 miles, if that, depending on when I start. So fun times. We also have basketball tryouts tonight, so that's why everything's being so busy. And I need to get our pizzas made because I'm gonna eat sourdough discard pizzas tonight. I'm not really tracking those, mostly because I made all these desserts. I'm not tracking those either. Today's kind of just like a me day. And then I weigh in on Monday, so if I have a me day, I can kind of get back to normal by the time I weigh in. I know that's probably not the best way to do it, but it works. Sometimes you just need a day or two. especially with all these desserts and my husband coming home, basketball practice, tryouts, whatever. We're just winging it today. But hey, that's okay. Tomorrow is a new day. We'll definitely try to do a little bit of portion control tonight, not overeat. I'll stop when I am almost full, not when I am full. We'll just have a nice little family night. So let's check these. I probably should have used a bigger pan, but where's the fun in that? They look so good. So you don't want them overcooked, so it's okay if they're a little gooey. You'd rather have gooey bread for cinnamon rolls versus dry bread for cinnamon rolls. And then they're also still gonna cook a little bit as how hot they are. But now I'm going to move my middle rack down to the bottom, and I'm gonna warm up my bread oven and then warm the oven up to 450 and then get my sourdough ready to go in, and that'll be done too. My bread oven, I love the green. I want the Le Croissant one, but I'm not paying that price for it. Unless you guys tell me it's absolutely worth it. But this is my dupe makeshift one. This is from Aldi, and it does great. Does the same thing. So we're gonna warm this up while the oven is warming up, because you don't want to put your bread in a cold bread oven or Dutch oven, whatever you have. So I'm gonna move these down. Freaking good. Taking pictures of your baked food, 10 out of 10 recommend. These, do you see what I mean? They kind of just flew over. That's okay. Oh, a hot cinnamon roll sounds so good. Okay, let's get our bread out. Our little shower cap off. All right, so now we have rice flour. This is under my Amazon storefront, and I'll link this below as well. You definitely want to use rice flour when it comes to this step of your sourdough. It's gonna help it just the top, cooking wise, just everything. Down. Now you also want to put a cookie sheet on the bottom rack under your bread oven. This distributes the weight evenly, so you don't have to worry about the middle getting burned or the bottom of your bread getting burned, because the cookie sheet will just distribute the heat just properly enough under your bread oven. So put that on the bottom rack. All right, so we're gonna do a little bit of flour down on parchment paper. Flip this over. Beautiful. Nice big loaf of bread. Alright, so we're going to top it with a little bit more flour. Now here's the fun part of figuring out a design and how you want to score your bread, but you have to score sourdough. It just helps it with the rise, and it helps it just cook better, and it makes it pretty. Oh, that's right here. So I'm just gonna do just a basic one, which is just here, nice and deep cut, almost like a stretched out C or like a crescent moon. Then we're gonna do right back over it again. This gives it that big ear on top as well. And then we're gonna do some little scores on the side here. Just like that. We'll do another one over here. Maybe a small ear on this side. There we go. All right, we're gonna wait for our oven to preheat up to 450, and then we will get our bread in. We're gonna cook it for 30 minutes with the lid on, 30 to 40 minutes with the lid on, and then for the last 15 minutes, we're going to take the lid off and cook it. That gives it the nice crunch and like crisp on top, with just taking the lid off. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I'll show you guys when it's done, and then we'll get our workout done. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and ice these cinnamon rolls while we still got a few more degrees to go on the bread. You don't wanna put it in while it's preheating. You wanna put it in right when it is ready to go and at your desired temperature, because it'll mess with the cooking, especially on your sourdough bread. This is addicting. I'm trying to stay out of this, but it's hard. That is for sure. Stirring it one more time before. So it says like you can use a spatula, but I'm just gonna go in with a spoon. Kind of just top each one with a little dollop first, and then I'll spread it out. And you can use as much or as little icing as you want. It's cream cheese, so I don't think you can ever have too much of that. But you may not like it. Right, now we're just going to spread it out, see what's missing. Some over here. Use the back of the spoon to kind of swirl it around the top of your cinnamon rolls. And it'll begin to melt because the bread's still warm. That's why you want to ice it like 10-ish minutes right when you pull it out afterwards. That way it's not, like it's still gonna be cream cheese, but it's all not gonna melt off. Just add a little bit more. There we go. Perfect. This looks so freaking good. Guys, look at that. Gorgeous. I cannot wait to eat those later. And a donut. Ooh, with a pizza. It's gonna be a good night. hopefully basketball tryouts goes good as well. We won't know until next week if he makes the team, so fingers crossed. But we have a great dessert for when we get home from after tryouts. And we'll have pizza before, so nice little balance there. But let's go ahead and get our bread oven out. This area prepped and ready. All right, let's go ahead and grab that. There must be something on this pan. Parchment paper, bread, right in the center. Now I always tear off the extra parchment paper because it just gets on my nerves. I'm gonna have to start getting like maybe smaller parchment paper. The next thing I do is I put a couple pieces of ice in there to really draw out that moisture. And you just a couple pieces right under the parchment paper. Just like that. Now let's grab the lid. All right, back in for 30 minutes and then we'll take the lid off. Hey Siri, set timer for 30 minutes. Great. Beautiful. All right, so let's go ahead and get our workout started. We can always come in and take the lid off in between sets, but that way we're not just standing around waiting for it to be done and then working out. Let's go ahead and knock that out. All right, we pulled the bread out and look how beautiful. That came out so amazing. So beautiful. And so didn't the donuts. Well, the chocolate ones. Nah, the powder ones are okay. And so didn't the cream cheese cinnamon rolls. Oh, they look so good. So freaking good. Can't wait to eat them later. But now it is time to go get some steps in and pick Axel up from the school bus. are going to end it off here. Thanks so much for watching Farm and Sugar. Again, my name is Allie, and I hope you enjoyed our baking video today, our workout, and some fall decorations. I will definitely decide next video on what I want to bake. I'm kind of starting to get a little bit more creative and kind of think outside the box on what I want to do next. So we'll see where that goes. If you have any requests, drop them in the comment section below. Let me know something you want to see me bake or a specific workout, anything like that, drop it down below. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe as well. It helps our channel out and helps us bring you videos every week. So we will see you next time on Farm and Sugar.